All right, so we're going to start with Ruby. Ruby, I'm going to ask you to state your full name for me, please, or just your first name.
Okay. Rabina, that's my first name. My last name is Mohammed.
Thank you, Ruby. Ruby, I want to say there's this, I'm going to go with totem animal for you. Spirit guides will also come through as totem animals. And I'm seeing black bear for you. I love it when bear comes into these readings because they are so powerful. Typically, black bear doesn't comes into me in an image further away. But at this moment, black bear came right in front of my face. To a point where I went, whoa, I can't see you unless I back up. All I know is I got this furry belly in my face, and what is it? So as I started to back up, this black bear presented itself. This black bear is saying to you, my name is Shamba, Shamba. Sometimes I write it down. I just wrote it down, Shamba. And Shamba is saying, this is the moment where you stepped up into your purpose. This is the moment where you let out a roar and a growl just to say hello. And all of you people that have stood in my way before, my growl will now tell you, get out of my way. Does that make sense to you, Ruby? Yes. I love Shamba. So you will, everybody else, you will hear me say, does that make sense to you? It's good to have your voice and hear you say yes or no. Shamba's also telling me, I'm also pushing down the trees that are in your way. And I'm asking him, it is a him, not caught up in male or female, obviously. I'm all about the one. But he's saying, I cut down the trees. And I'm like, okay, you cut down the trees, but now aren't there stumps left? And he's like, no. Then once I cut down the trees, what she does, as she walks along, she will jump up on the stump. And I'm like, wow, like a platform? And they're like, exactly like a platform, Shamba is saying. So jump up on that stump. Ruby, are you going to be doing some things with people, like people might be coming in front of you where you might be some sort of teacher? I'm not seeing a big group, but I'm seeing possibly like you and 3 or 4 other people. Does that make sense to you? Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes. So you're going to be stepping up on the stump of all the trees that Shamba is cutting down for you. I love this image for you. So jump up on the stump, make everyone aware of your platform. And I see the inauguration speech yesterday where I see, you know how when you've got the podium in front of you and you can hold both sides of the podium. So I'm saying to Shamba, what is she going to hold on to when she's up there on that stump? And he's saying she needs nothing anymore to hold on to. She can stand up there, she can splay her arms, she can swing her arms, whatever she chooses to do with them. She does not need to hold on to anything anymore. Does that make sense to you, Ruby?
Mm-hmm. Yes, it does.
I love Shamba. Thank you, Shamba, for pushing away. There wasn't a bad smell or anything. I just pushed him away, but he was right in my face. So you might notice him, again, big and black hair, but he's got these, on his belly, he's got these patches of brown. You know, like a puppy, we just have patches of brown. And if I reach out and pet it, if I move the hair back the other way, that brown just stays right through to his skin. I'm asking him why the patches of brown. And he says, you need to Google brown bear also, not just black bear. So here's a cool thing with totem animals or any spirit guide that I bring through right now. You have the ability to Google them and Google what else you might find for them. So he's asking you to Google not just black bear, but the characteristics of brown bear. That brown bear will be coming further along in your path. You'll need brown bear. Do you understand?
Yes.
Thank you, Ruby, and thank you for joining me. I appreciate it. Everybody, a deep breath in and out with Ruby. Thank you for the confirmation too, Ruby. Okay. All right, everybody got how that goes now? Fabulous, yay. I'm gonna go with Cher next. Cher, if you would unmute yourself.
I am unmuted, I think.
Thank you, yes you are. Thank you for joining. Good to hear you and see you, Cher.
You too.
Okay, so I'm gonna ask you, Cher, to state your name. Just first name is fine for me.
Share.
Cher. I'm seeing like a little, a Tinkerbell sort of nymph. That's what I want to call them for you. She's green, she's sparkly, she has very long dragonfly-like wings, but she has a feminine body, a small feminine body. Are you familiar with sprites, Cher?
I am.
Yes, thank you. She's really particular about her wings. The wings have beautiful rainbows filtering through these wings. So they're not just thin wings, right? They're a dragonfly wing, but the wing is rather open, not like a butterfly, like a dragonfly wing. But if I held it up, I can see through it. Do you understand, Cher?
Uh-huh.
So the rainbow pattern of her wing is what's really standing out for me. I'm a little cold right now with this sprite nymph slash fairy with me. It's because she said, oh, that was really cool. She says, I'm fluttering my wings so fast, I'm making a breeze.
Uh,
So I asked her to stop for a moment because I'm a little chilled. And she said, I will. And now it will land right on your shoulder. So I become you in these dreams. So you now have this little, I'll get her name for you, this sprite on your right shoulder. She's saying what I'm doing for you is helping with the masculine energy. If you know me, I'm all about bringing masculine and feminine together so we can work together as one, not as two, but as one. So what she's doing for you is I got to cool down that masculine. Do you understand, Cher?
uh-huh.
So when that masculine, for Donna, masculine is really that head-centered type A, got to keep going no matter what, and then forgets about the self-care feminine piece. Do you understand, Cher?
Yes.
So what she's going to do is flutter, flutter, flutter her wings. When you feel cold, especially to your arms, your upper arms, neck area, when you feel cold, you're going to have that reminder. What am I forgetting? Am I being too headstrong? Or do I need to take a little time for self-care right now? Do you understand, Cher?
Uh-huh. I do.
I'm going to get her name. And she said her name is Twilight. Twilight. I started to say Twinkerbell, and she went, no, Donna. Twilight. No Twinkerbell, Twilight. Twilight, I feel for you is it resonates with you, Cher. Something about Twilight, she's telling me, Cher knows me. Cher knows I come in the twilight. Cher knows she sees me in the twilight. Does that make sense, Cher?
It does.
Wonderful. Yay, I love that. So again, I'll repeat, her wings, beautiful. When she decides to flutter them, they can give a very big fan effect, as if you were sitting in front of those really big fans that they used to, I picture them, don't know what they're used for. I picture them, right? Big commercial type fans blowing air on you. Those are her wings at that moment. Otherwise, she's sitting on your right shoulder. And the colors of the rainbow, she says, when you see the colors of the rainbow coming through any point of you, you will know that's when I'm coming. Not when I'm there, but when I'm coming. So you'll be able to anticipate this either masculine energy full force, or am I not doing self-care for myself? Did that make sense, Cher?
Yeah, I think so.
Great, thank you. So Twilight, you can call on her obviously anytime, but you know she's going to be with you for very specific times. So have a great time with Twilight, Cher. I appreciate you joining.
Okay, thanks very much.
You're welcome, Cher. Take care.
You too.
Okay, I'm going to go with Jennifer next. Jennifer, if you would unmute yourself. Thank you. Hello. Everybody, deep breath in and deep breath out. Jennifer, if you would just say your name for me, please.
Jennifer Patterson.
Thank you, hon. I feel that totem animals are a theme today. I'm not saying everybody's get one, but in this moment, I've got another totem animal with me. He came in first as like a beaver, right side, masculine side. Then he it turned into some sort of raccoon, but the cuddly raccoon. But inside him, I feel I can always be the type of raccoon that also calls for more strength. Do you understand?
Yes.
So when I first saw the brown, it didn't resonate with me. I didn't know what type of animal it was, but I feel that's because one totem animal has just taken over. Excuse me, dry. Hang on. One totem animal has just taken over another totem animal. Do you understand?
Yes.
Totem animals come in and out when you need them. So this other sort of brown, more softer totem animal, I'm trying to get that glimpse of him again. He's on his way out. Do you understand?
Mhm.
So that piece of you that was a little more, I'm not saying good, bad, right, or wrong, maybe a little more passive, maybe a little more, just going to do this because everybody else is doing it. But look at me, I'm so cute. Do you understand?
Mm-hmm.
No good, bad, right, or wrong. That's time to go. And in walks Raccoon. Raccoon says, yep, you got it right. Rocky is my name and Rocky will always be my name. Are you familiar with that song, Rocky Raccoon?
No, I'm not.
Okay, who sang that song? Bob Dylan?
Oh,
My age?
okay.
Okay, go Google that song and play that because he's saying his name is Rocky. He's saying, I get bigger as she moves forward. And I said, forward where? Forward how? And he's saying, as she moves forward on her path, as she distinguishes which is her path and which is not. Now, not is never not the path. You understand? Not is just a veering to the other side, but you always come back. It's part of the path. So he says, I will be getting larger as she learns to distinguish my path from not my path. Do you understand?
Mm-hmm.
I feel, Jennifer, you ask a lot of questions about what is my path. Would that make sense to you?
Yes.
Yeah, welcome to my world. Okay, here's Rocky. Rocky comes in. Rocky's got these very sharp nails. And I'm like, all right, dude, what are those sharp nails for? He says, because I'm going to dig and claw my way through this path. And I said, good, bad, right, or wrong? And he's like, no good, bad, right, or wrong. But I feel you spent too many moments, the metaphorical down on the ground, down and out, seeking. Do you understand?
Yep.
He says, so I'm going to claw my way up every tree that I see. And I'm like, oh, kind of like Ruby who knocked those down. And he says, nope, I'm going to claw my way up to the tree until I get to the top. And what's on the top, Jennifer? Tell me what's at the top of that tree.
Success.
Success, I'll go with. How about vision?
Vision.
Because I'm so high above, right? Before it was not being able to see through the trees because of the forest. I never understood that phrase. Not to be able to see the forest through the trees, whatever that is. But because you were down below and you saw just a bunch of trees, now this Rocky Raccoon, he's gonna climb his way. And where are you? You're right on his back. Because remember how we got bigger and bigger and bigger? Nobody wants to see this big raccoon I have in my head right now. You don't want to do that. But you're going to be on his back and you're going to be climbing up that tree until you get to the top, perfectly safe, and you're going to overlook what's going to come next. Do you understand?
Yes.
Not overlook it. You're going to overlook it, oversee it, right? Wanted to make sure that was clear. So don't really have a lot to describe about him because he looks just like a raccoon. But as he gets bigger, he just becomes this life size. Like I'm only seeing him from the back right now because I've jumped on his back, right? Because I'm you. But it's easy to hold on to. Like I feel myself, I wrap myself around his front paws. Like this is what I'm doing, around his front paws. And my back legs go around him and he just takes me up that tree. Takes you up that tree.
Mm-hmm.
Rocky says, just wait. Just wait. Then he said, don't wait because it'll happen when it happens. Do you understand?
Mm-hmm.
All right, Jennifer, name, image, what he's here for. We're good.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for joining. I appreciate that. Bye-bye. Jennifer, from Jennifer, I'm going to go to Jeannie. I'm going to take a sip, ask everybody to take a deep breath in and out. Jeannie, 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 Jeannie. If you would state your name for me, and it's fine if you just say your first name.
Jeannie.
Jeannie, thank you. Jeannie, I have a feminine presence. The color is very pale blue. I'm resisting the urge to go to Mother Mary, but I think I'm going there. The way she presents herself is within me, not in front of me, not behind me, not to the right or left of me, but within me. Do you understand?
Yes.
So this feminine presence, I'm only saying feminine because it's feminine, but this feminine presence is giving Donna a sense of pause.
Okay.
Pause. P-A-U-S-E, not P-A-W-S, because we've had so many animals in this reading already.
Right.
That's funny. Giving me a sense of pause. And I'm asking for her to speak more to me. And she says, what I'm doing is softening the harder moments. Do you understand, Jeannie?
Yes.
Softening these moments. And I am telling her, I'm going with Mother Mary, but I'm going with a part of Mother Mary that says, look what I'm gaining from you, Jeannie. Not what you're going to gain from me, but with what I am going to gain by being with you. Did you understand what I just said?
Yes.
Mother Mary is telling you that she's going to be gaining things from you.
Wow.
Can I get an amen? Can I get an hallelujah?
Amen.
Yeah, thank you, Kathy. So what happens is she's going to be sitting inside of you. I feel it more heart center, right? Because that's where she is, heart center, but also her arms are your arms. Do you understand?
Okay.
She's saying not her legs, her arms. She's kind of just balled up right here in me. So I get this great sense of pause, this great sense of purpose. Do you understand?
Yes.
And her arms say, whatever you need to pull in, I will help you. Because whatever you pull in, we are both going to gain from it. Do you understand?
Yes.
Jeannie, have you ever had someone tell you that Mother Mary is with you?
I don't think so.
So
No.
she was fitting very comfortably inside here. I would say she's been with you for at least 2 years, finding her way, allowing you to take your time to get to this point where you will recognize this is big. Do you understand?
Yes.
She's telling me, don't forget to pause. And you will pause just before you ask the question, what the heck is going on here? Do you understand?
Yes.
So not the question that who just had before me, what is my true purpose? But more of a question, what the hell is this? And then you're going to take a pause before you state that. And you went, wait a minute. Let me check in here with this heart-centered, love-centered energy that I have with me by the name of Mother Mary. Do you understand?
Yes.
She said, don't forget the animals. I'm asking her, I don't know what you're asking her. She says, don't forget the animals. Does that make sense to you, Jeannie?
I'm not sure.
I'm not sure either. Don't forget the animals. I feel they're smaller animals, you know, not like our domestic pets. I feel they're the animals of the woodchucks and the chipmunks and the little squirrels, not the big squirrels, but the little squirrels, she's saying. I feel there's going to be some sort of attraction of these animals to you, or you will be seeing them all over the place going, what the heck are all these animals doing around me? Do you understand?
Yes.
They may run across your path on the road. They may run across your literal car, but they're going to be calling your attention. So she's saying, don't forget them. And I'm like, well, then what happens when they do? I mean, typically they run across, so you figure out what's the reason. She says they will speak to you. They will speak
Okay.
to you, Jeannie. They will speak to you, the little ones. So now she's going back to the little ones, right? Not the big ones, the little ones. Do you understand, Jeannie?
Yes.
So I leave you with Mother Mary. I wish you the best in working with her. It's a beautiful vibration to have in your heart center. Do you agree?
Absolutely.
Thank you, Mary, for joining. Mary, I'm going to go to Mary next. Thank you, Jeannie, for joining.
Thank
Mary
you, Donna.
in my head. All right, Jeannie, done, Mother Mary. Mary, I'm going to go with you next. Mary, my friend. Everybody take a deep breath in and out. And Mary, I'm just going to ask you to state your name for me. It's okay if you just say your first name.
Mary.
Thank you. Mary, are you familiar with the actor The Rock?
No.
Dwayne Johnson. Dwayne Johnson.
Yes.
Okay, The Rock. So the first thing I hear in my head is The Rock. And I start to go back. Donna starts to get involved, and she should never get involved. But she goes back to this reading I did a bit ago where The Rock came through, and I got all excited. But this is the name The Rock. This is the name of your guide. He's saying, I am The Rock. I am The Rock for her. I make it a different name, but I kind of like The Rock right now. I am the rock for her. I am the rock that has been rocking her and rocking her purpose for so many years. I feel that he's been with you for a good number of years. I am the power of this. I haven't got a good image of him yet. I'm just hearing this booming voice, and I always know it's going to be good when I hear the booming voice before I actually see the image. Do you understand?
Uh-huh.
And I do also know that he's been with you for more than 20 years, more than 30 years. I'm asking him, are you a guide from like an inner band or an outer band? He's saying no outer band, but I came to her when she was around the age of 10, 11, 12, when she really needed the strength of, I am the rock. So whatever happened, Mary, between 10, 11, 12, you might have felt a little bit more meek, more mild, more timid, but you really wanted to put yourself out there. Would that make a little sense to you, Mary?
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. So the rock said to me, I'm coming in. He said, I'm coming in, and this is when I'm coming in. But he said, I didn't appear full force to her yet because, Donna, you can imagine at the age of 10, 11, 12, that you don't want to see this forceful presence in your head, right? Do you agree with me, Mary?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I'm not even ready to see it yet because I have no idea what all I keep picturing is Dwayne Johnson. And I'm like, please let it be Dwayne Johnson. Please let it be. It's not Dwayne. Okay. Ruby, you wanted it to be Dwayne Johnson too. Come on, admit it. Yes. Shake your head. Yes. Yeah. The rock. Okay. So the rock saying, I was not only your spiritual side, but I was your religious side. So when Donna says spiritual, more means not so much godly, not so much churchly, but spiritual, let's take it all in. The rock is saying, I was not only your spiritual side, but I was your religious side. I know I've known you for a while, but I don't remember the religious side of you. So would you say in those years of 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, that you would have been more religious?
Yes.
Thank you. So he wasn't just with you during that time. You see how that morphed into spiritual. Yes, do you understand that?
Yes.
Religion definitely morphed into spiritual.
Mm-hmm.
He said, and you watched yourself grow and expand. You would say to yourself, I believe, I know I did that before, but now I'm kind of like, let's do something different. Let's do it this way instead of that way. Do you understand?
Yes.
And that would have been more 20s, where you were starting to gain that voice, where you're starting to maybe feel that strength. Like you might have even felt like the rock's hand on the back of you go, get out there.
Yep.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, yeah, stop pushing me. The rock's going to eventually step into my head. oh, this is so fun. He's here, but he's really tall and thin. He's so tall and he's so thin, I could knock him over with my breath. So now you understand how if Donna saw that come into her head and then heard these booming words of, I am the rock, I'm like, those two wouldn't have matched. Do you understand?
Yep.
But he has the strength. He has the purpose. He has your back, Mary. Are you going to let him?
Yep.
Yep. He comes in right-sided. He comes in masculine side. He says, but I'll stand right in front of you. If you let me, I will stand right in front of you. And I'm like, but all I got to do is this. And I'm looking around because you're so thin. And he's like, but this is what happens when I stand in front of you. When I stand in front of you, it is at a time when you truly need me. When I stand in front of you, you will look at me and say, what happened? What do I need right now from you? As opposed to behind you when you're like, you can do this all on your own. Do you understand?
Yes.
When he's in front of you, you will say, hey, what are you doing? What am I doing? What happened? What's the purpose here? And that's when you need to sit with him
Okay.
and say, where am I going that you're telling me I need your help? Because other times he's like, you didn't really need me. You just needed me to do this.
Okay.
So he's dressed again, very tall, very thin. He's dressed as, he's got an orange tint to him. Have you've seen like the crystal quartz or the rose quartz, like rocks and stones? It's not rose, it's more orangey. Do you understand?
Yes.
So you might actually see that orangey thing in front of you at some point and say, there's the rock. Literally and figuratively. That's funny. I just got that. So look for the color of that orangey sort of. That's his outfit, right? His suit, his like kind of very thin suit that he's wearing is that color orange. Do you understand?
Yes.
Very tall, very thin. Definitely taller than me. Definitely taller than, Carly's pretty tall. So I'm like kind of gauging him up to other people in my life. My brother Scott's pretty tall. I gotta say he's well over 6'5". Do you understand?
Okay.
So that's pretty tall. He doesn't go taller than that, but I would say anywhere from 6'2" to 6'5".
Okay.
Who doesn't want a tall, thin man in their life? Raise your hand. I'll take one anytime. Okay, the Rock is his name. He said you can call him the Rock. You can call him TR if you want. Love initials, right? Always makes things simpler. Okay, so you got his name, you got his image, you got when you're going to work with him and how you're going to work with him. You should be good to go, Mary. You good to go?
Thank you.
You are so very welcome. Thank you for joining. So happy you came around. All right, everybody, deep breath in and out. I have 3 more left. Kathy, Cheyenne, and Sarah, right? Yes. Kathy, I'm going to go with you next. How are you today, Kathy?
Good, thank you.
I've seen you a few times. I remember I've seen your name a few times.
We did a reading once. We have communicated by email before. Yes.
Very wonderful. All right. So, Kathy, I'm going to ask you to just take a deep breath in and out for me, please. And say your full name for me.
Catherine Kuhn Pentecost.
I've got this really desert sense to me right now, like scorpion energy. Like, I don't care how hot it is, I'm going to walk across this desert. This scorpion energy, you're familiar with what that looks like, right? Scorpion energy with this tail and Donna doesn't like that. I'm creeped out by that sort of insect. The fact that it can just crawl into your room or wherever you are just creeps me out. But this scorpion, ooh, that's a very good name. His name is Sully. Sully. Sully the scorpion. Sully is just walking along, having a great time. My feet aren't hot. It's the desert. My feet aren't hot. I know exactly where I'm going. I could use an extra drink every now and then, which is telling you to start drinking a little bit more water in that little sense. But other than that, I'm just going to creep along the desert. I'm okay if there aren't a lot of images around me, people around me, lessons around me. I'm okay with that. So I'm asking, all right, Sully, why are you here? Because I don't see me in the picture, me being you, Kathy. I don't see me in the picture anyway, but I just see you kind of making your way along this desert. He said, that's who she is. I am who she is. She creeps along. She's fine with no matter where I'm going, what's in front of me, or if there is nothing in front of me. He says she just keeps going. Does that make sense to you, Kathy?
It does.
So I'm like, okay, desert, but is she also okay with many other places? And he says, yeah, she's okay with everything. She may not like certain things, but she'll live with everything. And I'm talking about temperature here. I'm talking about mountains versus ocean, desert versus whatever else, the fields. Does that make sense to you, Kathy?
Yes.
Thank you. He's getting up on his back legs, not even sure if scorpions have back legs right now, but he's getting up on his back legs and saying, I can stand just as tall as she stands. I'm like, cool. He's saying, when I stand up, she's going to feel some prickly in her feet. Do you get it? Prickly in her feet. Because you'll now be walking on my body, on my spine, on my, they're kind of prickly, like if I don't want to touch them, they'd crunch. He's saying, that's no problem. That's no problem. But those are the moments when we really need to stand up instead of crawl along. Those are the moments when we need to stand up and find the purpose of that meeting. Do you understand?
Yes.
I feel it's going to be a lot of one-on-one meetings where you're going to say, oh, and now I know why Sully, we're standing up together. I feel it's going to be a one-on-one meeting. Do you understand?
Yes.
So there'll be challenges. He's saying that's the moment where we'll both stand up together. You may hear some crunching or some tingling at the bottom of your feet, but know that we never have to use our tail to sting anymore. Do you understand?
Yes.
The only thing we're going to do with that tail is if we happen to back and fall back because that situation started to push us a little bit, if we fall back, that tail may help us come back up. Do you understand? That
Like a
tail,
ballast.
yeah, that tail is going to have that support to pull you right back up. So he's saying, don't be fearful, to have that courage to walk, because that moment of that challenge, know that we're together standing, not just kind of creeping along. This is the moment of all moments. This is the moment where you take pride in everything you've done in the past to allow yourself to just slink along the desert. Do you understand?
Yes.
So Sully's pretty typical. He is a black scorpion, but he has like a pearl necklace around his neck. And I'm asking, pretty cool pearl necklace. What are you doing with that pearl necklace? He said, I just wanted an offshoot of color, right? He says, there's just too much black. I just wanted some more color in myself. So he's got one around his neck, and he's also got now 4 around his little legs. I'm like, I'm not even sure if he has 4 legs, but to me, he's got 4 legs. Do you understand? Again, to Donna, that's also the feminine plus the masculine coming together as one. But I like his little comment. Just put a little necklace, just to give me that little balance.
Pop of color.
Little pop of color. Kathy, does that make sense to you?
Yes, it does. Thank you so much.
So you got his name, Sully. Did that make sense to you? I saw your mouth just like open wide when I said Sully.
Oh, a scorpion. Who knew?
Sully the scorpion. He says you could write a book about me. I said that would make a great book, Sully the scorpion.
Okay.
The hard and soft of him, the masculine and feminine of Sully the scorpion. The duality in a world of non-duality. I'm like, stop using all my words on me, Sully. Good luck with Sully. You know what to do with him.
Thank you so much.
You're so welcome. Everybody, deep breath in and out. Sarah Jane, unmute yourself, please.
Hi, how are you?
I'm very well. Thank you so much. Thank you so
Thanks
much.
so much for doing this today.
Yes,
So
yes.
kind.
I'm going to make a sip.
Great.
Everybody, if I didn't already say, deep breath in, deep breath out. Really great reading, you guys. Really great. Lots of fun going on here. Lots of fun. Okay, Sarah. I'm going to ask you to say your name for me.
Sarah Jane Marjorie Smith Boyle.
She has my last name.
Yeah.
I'm seeing. For some reason, my voice isn't talking. I see your color on your sweater is red. But the first thing I saw when I closed my eyes is this red animal coming right up to me, another totem animal coming right up to me. And full force in my face. And again, it's too close. It's too close. You got to back off. And I see fox. As I push him away, it's red fox, not brown fox, not black fox, not bear fox. It's red fox. Do you understand? Red fox. But for some reason, his whole belly was, because that's what I got close to me, was red. So when Donna kind of pictures a fox, if she picks it up, she can see like a white patch under the belly. That's to me what they always have, some sort of white patch. But as he came close to me, it was this red, deep red of his fur. Red fox, he says. He says, I want you to join me now. I feel that this is his first introduction to you. I want you to join me now. And the only way I could do this is to really come full force into your vibration. Do you understand?
Yes.
So I'm asking him why full force? He's telling me because she's been tentative. She's walked and she's creeped. She's also put herself in an area where there weren't as many challenges or people or ways to evolve. She liked the idea of standing on the outskirts of the woods. You know how fox like to come out of the woods, come to a clearing, but then just kind of hang out there along the edge of the woods. She liked that. No good, bad, right, or wrong, but it's time now. I'm going to take her and we're going to come out of the woods and walk into the clearing. Do you understand? So in the clearing, I'm asking what now? And the two of you stand together. Red fox, haven't got a name yet. We'll get that. At your side, right side has been pretty prominent today. Right side, red fox to your side, coming up to about your knee. So his back is at your knee. He said, I don't need a leash because I will now remain close to your side for at least 3 to 5 years. Do you understand?
Sure, yeah.
So here you are coming out of the woods, metaphorically too.
Right,
Out of the woods and being able to put yourself now side by side with Red Fox. He says, I am a sly fox. I am sly as a fox. I am also very knowledgeable. I am a very wisdom-filled fox. So you will not only be getting wise wisdom out of your fox, but you will also be getting, I feel sleuthy, I feel sly, I feel, I understand this. And I'm the only one that has to understand this. I don't need to be putting it out to anybody else because I understand it. Do you understand?
I meaning me.
Yes.
Okay.
You and the fox.
The fox. Okay.
So he's saying, look, before you had this fabulous ability to be able to tell everybody what's going on, to be able to say, this is what I'm doing now. This is what I'm doing now. And boy, this is fabulous. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
He's saying now we need you to rein it in a little bit. We need you to bring in just what is for you, for you. We need you to hold that a little bit closer to your chest, a little bit closer to you. Not yet, he's saying, not yet. Do you understand? I feel there's going to be something new that will be coming towards you, where he will be the one to say, this is it. And you will feel that moment of this is it. Do you understand?
Yeah.
He's saying his name is Triad Triad, Triad the fox. And I said, Triad to Donna sounds like three-legged, three something. And he said, yeah,
Okay.
when she felt like she couldn't stand. I was right there. I didn't come to her yet, but I was right there. And going forward, when you feel like, you know, you have you on your two legs and then you have Triad on his four legs, when you feel unstable, know that you have an extra four legs to support you. Do you understand?
I do. Yeah.
Yes. Who doesn't need that? A little
Yeah.
more stability, a little more. I'm not really happy with the word grounding, but I'll go with stability. And a little more presence of power, he's saying. Presence of power to walk alone in that field and no longer have the trees to hide you. Do you understand?
Yeah. Yeah.
So that image is very clear in Donna's head right now. If, this is Donna speaking, if I were you, I'd be going into that meditation. I would see myself in the woods first and make sure I got everything out of who I was and who now I need to be. You know, what part kept me in the woods? What part kept me along that that border? That I don't like.
So in the woods, almost like metaphorically
Yes.
confused and
Yes.
needing direction type thing. Okay.
Yes. What kept me hidden? What part of me wanted to stay hidden? I would go with all those metaphors.
Yep.
And then say, great, I got it. I know that's what I need to work with. And here I am going to move out into the center of that field. So I got
I
your
love it.
name. I got your name. I got your image.
Triad. Yeah, I
That
love that.
red. I love that redness. He's got that big foofy tail. I love that red.
It's so funny because my puppy that I have 4 kids, so I always said I would never get a dog, but we did get our dog, and he looks like a little red Irish setter, and he prefers me to anyone in the family, and he has a floofy tail. So
Oh, there you go.
and he meditates with me. So there you go.
There you go. So now Triad has just made
Yeah.
his way to be more open with you, to be more talkative with you.
Sure.
Cool.
Thank you, Donna. That's
You're-
awesome.
You're so very welcome, Sarah Jane.
Thank
Thank you
you.
for coming and thank you for letting all your friends know.
Yes, thank you.
Okay, Shani, I gotcha. You're next, and that would be it. I think I did everybody. Yep. Okay, Shani, if you would unmute yourself, everybody, deep breath in and out. Great. And if you would state your full name for me, please. Your first name is fine.
Chiani.
I have a male figure. Kind of like, oh, I've had 007 on my brain all day. Like, I feel like I need to start speaking English also. A tall gray suit, very masculine, very, very well cut, very well dressed. And he walks with that sense of, I'm the man, I can get it done. But I still, again, feel that 007 presence, that mission impossible, that everything you felt prior that might have been a mission for you that seemed impossible, he says, let me help you with those. Do you understand?
Yes, I do.
Thank you. These sort of figures, as with the last reading I did, these sort of figures, I keep seeing their image, but I don't get their words yet. So I see their image, and in my head, I'm going, keep walking, keep coming, come on, come on, come on. You got to come a little bit closer. I want to see more of you. I want to hear you. He said, I've taken my time to present myself to her. He says, I'm not going to really come in full force, probably for another 6 months to a year. Do you understand?
Yes.
He says, not that it's too strong, not that I'm too powerful, but she's not at that point yet where she needs it. And I said, cool. I said, but who doesn't need 007 in their life? Raise your hand if you need 007 in your life. Yes, mission impossible. I feel like there's a sense of a is that a first letter L or J? He says, no, none of that. So I was seeing Luke, I was seeing Juke, I was seeing all of these first letters before the name UKE. And I said, what's the first letter? He says, no, that's my name, Uke, UKE, Uke. And I said, Uke or is it Yuki? He says, it's Uke, Donna, you said it. Sometimes they get frustrated with me. Uke is his name, Uke. Still though at a distance from me. So again, I am looking at him, he's in the center of my head, so I've got to walk toward him, which is you walking toward him. A great physique. I'm asking him now, what else can you do for her? And he said, it's all about Mission Impossible. It's all about laying down the script so that you can achieve the mission. Laying down the script so that you can achieve the mission. Seeing the words, seeing the lessons, seeing or reading the script so that you can achieve the message. The message comes, you say to yourself, mission, do I choose to accept it? You look at Ook and say, Ook's like, yes, giving you a thumbs up, I'll be right there for you. So I do feel what this is, I'm sensing is you're going to be having something different's coming. Are you looking at another business, another job, something bigger than just, okay, tomorrow I got to deal with a coworker? Is that making sense?
Yes. Yeah, that makes sense.
Thank you. So as you move forward into this mission, write the script, because he's telling me you already have written the script. Read it. But he said you don't have to have it with you all the time. You don't have to constantly replay what has happened that has made you evolve. Do you understand? You don't have to constantly reboot every time something happens. You already know these things. You already know that you're going to move forward into this position. It's time to do it. Do you understand?
Yes, I do.
So call on Ook. Again, I feel it's 6 months to a year. I wouldn't say less than 6 months, but it doesn't mean you can't start working with him. Got it?
Yes.
By calling him up, by meditating with him, by using this image of this. He has jet black hair, like combed back slick. And I'm like, you put a comb through that hair because it just looks so slick and shiny. Lots of product, you hear me? Lots of product. Clean shaven, gray suit, light gray suit, beautiful starched white shirt. No jewelry. He said, we don't wear jewelry when we're on missions. Very dangerous to wear jewelry on missions. But he's given you this silver band, and it's got tiny bright things in it, stones in it. I'm not sure if they're diamond, but they're very bright. He's giving you this silver band with tiny, tiny diamonds all inside it. And he said, when you're ready, you will see this ring. When you see this ring, I don't know if it's metaphorical or literal. When you see this ring, you will put it on. And he said, then your mission will be resolved. Do you understand?
Yes, I do.
I feel when the ring happens, you're already there. So just go for it. All right. Thank you so much for joining me, Tiani. I'm so glad.
Thank you.
You got Ook. Ook. Ook is his name. What can I say? It's his name. Okay, everybody take a deep breath in and out for me. That's it. That's all she wrote. So happy to see and hear from all of you. So glad that y'all joined. Any questions? Anybody want to elaborate at this time? I can shut off the meeting, so I'll say goodbye officially to everybody that I've recorded this